Hey traders, it's Mike from Orderflows and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about delta, specifically min-max delta and how you can use it in your trading. All right, so before we begin, if you've been enjoying my videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that whenever I post a new video, you'll be notified of it so you can come and watch it. All right, so delta, right? So in order flow, don't confuse order flow delta with options delta. Order flow delta is different. What it does, or what it is, it's the net difference between the aggressive buying and the aggressive selling in a bar, right? The markets trade in a two-way auction, so there's trading taking place on the bid, there's trading taking place on the offer. And net, if there's more aggressive trading to the buy side, you're going to have positive delta. If it's more aggressive selling taking place in the bar, you're going to have negative delta. Okay, so every bar is going to have a delta. It's going to be positive or negative. And generally speaking, whenever you have a green candle, you have positive delta, and a red candle, you're going to have negative delta. But of course, there's going to be times where you have a red candle, like in this case, that has positive delta, or a green candle like this that has a negative delta. Okay, and I've made videos explaining why that occurs and their importance in order flow analysis. But what I want to spend some time talking about today is the numbers that you see down at the bottom of the chart. It's the max delta and the min delta. And what the max delta is, it's how strong delta was in a bar. So if, for example, this green candle right here, it's got max delta of 347. It's telling you that at its strongest point, the positive delta was 347. Okay, so then like in this red candle, excuse me, we got min delta, which is the opposite of max delta, is how strongly negative delta was in a bar. It's minus 103. Okay, so it's telling you at one point the strongest net selling was minus 103 contracts. Okay, so now that you understand what max and min delta is, you got to take it a step further and understand why it's important or why is it not important. Okay, so again, there's going to be times where some bars have zero max delta or zero min delta. You're never going to have an instance where you got a zero max and a zero min, because then you'd have no delta. But you can see on this red candle here, the max delta was just positive 3. It's colored white. And that just tells you that in this bar, the strongest aggressive buyers were just 3 contracts over the net aggressive sellers. That does not mean that there was only 3 contracts bought aggressively. It's telling you the net difference at its strongest point, sort of at its apex. Just like on this green candle, right? It had max delta of 347, but the min delta was 0. It's also colored white. It's telling me that in this bar, right, net aggressive selling was never in control. Think of it as a tug of war, right? You have the 2 sides of the rope, right, with the the ribbon in the middle, and it goes back and forth until one side wins. What it's telling me in this case was, once this bar opened, net aggressive selling was not present. This is net aggressive selling, not just net selling. Okay, it's the difference between the aggressive selling and the aggressive buying. Okay, so from that, what we've discovered in our years of research is that there are times where the max delta or the min delta is very small. Okay, and so what we do on the Orderflows Trader software is we color it white. Other software, you can color it whatever color you want. Or, in the old days, we just used to watch the footprint chart and see, oh, you had 0 or you had 3. You got to make a cutoff, right, when you create a program. So here, this one's 4. That's why it's not coloring, because I use a threshold of 3. So it's either got to be, if it's going to be max delta, it's going to be 0, 1, 2, or 3. Or if it's min delta, 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Like here's minus 5. Okay. And depending on the market that you're looking at, say, if you're a market like, bonds, right, that trades a lot of volume, you're going to get fewer bars that have 0 max or 0 min. That's not to say that you won't. You can see there's one here and there's one here. But on a thicker market, that trades thousands of contracts, sometimes tens of thousands of contracts, per bar, you might want to extend it out. Okay. Now, so how can you use this in your trading? Well, what you want to do is you can identify it either with your eyes or you could use a tool, right? On Orderflows Trader, now in the new version of Orderflows Trader 8, we've made it plottable. And not only plottable, but here, let me just add it on. We draw a zone out from either the top of the bar, if it's bearish, or from the bottom of the bar if it's bullish. So it's here, you can see small, min, max, delta. And you can see there's the delta threshold that you could put in here. 3 would be, it deals in absolutes. So if you put 3, it's going to be either 0, 1, 2, or 3, or 0, -1, -2, -3. If it's a red bar, it's going to look at 0, -1, -2, -3. If it's positive, it's going to be 0, +1, +2, +3 in the delta. It's the delta threshold, okay? So what you're going to do, then you're going to click apply, right? And it's just going to come up on your chart and you're going to be highlighted every time it appears, okay? So you can see this bar here has got the bearish signal on top, right? It says, so I know that there was very small within 3 contracts of max delta, right? Just as over here, there was 0 max delta. Over here, there was 0 max delta. And then obviously the blue is the bullish ones. You got 0 min delta, right? Over here, you got 0 min delta, 0 min delta. It's not showing on this bar because this bar is a doji candle, which open and close at the same price. And generally in doji candles, even though there's volume that trades and things happen, since there's no direction, I don't really put much weight into it. That's just me. I've just found that in order flow analysis, for me personally, doji bars, just as they would be on regular candlesticks, generally signal indecision because the bar opens and closes at the same price. Now, that's nice now that you know where these areas, these bars that are coming in with small min or small max deltas, but how can you use it in your trading? Well, people are going to say, well, what's the point? You got bullish, 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 but it's bullish signal coming up here at the high. Bearish, you got a couple bad bearish signals here. Okay. Well, there's a couple ways you can do it. One, when you get the signal, if you're just looking at every single instance of it, it's a sign of momentum in a sense, because if you have very small, in this case, in this red bar here, you have 0 max delta, the min delta is dominant, the aggressive sellers are dominant, and you're going to go with that, just as in this candle here, right? You've got 0 min delta and it's all max delta, basically 347. We closed at 343, right? So the momentum is up. But what you got to do is you got to wait for the bar to close, confirm that, and then wait for the next bar to open. Okay, that's why you wouldn't be taking a short here or a short here. However, what we've done in Orderflows Trader 8 to even make it more effective in your usage, since this is a momentum signal, you want to be trading with momentum, right? Is now what we've added a momentum filter onto this indicator, if you will. So let's just find it here, small, min, max, delta. And you see here, enable momentum strength filter. Okay. Now when you enable this, it is linked to this up here, this global setting, momentum strength, which is 3, which is the average. 1 is the weakest momentum, sort of not say the weakest momentum, but the first signs of momentum. 6 would be the strongest momentum. Okay. You could go stronger than that, but what we found is, 6 is about as high as you really need to go. So then you just click apply, and then you're going to see the difference, right? It's going to be only showing you the signals coming in with momentum here. So it's removed 1 here. It's removed 1 here, the cell that was here, the cell that was here. Did take out a buy earlier just because the momentum wasn't there yet. Okay, so if you're trading momentum, that's a great way that you can use the small min max in your trading, but you still want to wait for the next bar to confirm it, right? Still go in that direction, just so that you wouldn't be taking this trade here, because the next bar trades below it, and then the next bar after that, the second bar after that, is right at the same level. Okay. Obviously, this one you wouldn't take. This one would be a nice one, right? So it's a nice move here. And you're going to see, same thing. No. You take this. This is a nice short here, right? That this, you got the small max delta, right? 1, right? You got the signal coming in here. Okay. Next bar opens. Just wait for it to break that low, right? 56.64. Trades down over the next 10 minutes, basically down to 54. Okay. Starts working its way back up. A little bullish trade here. Not the greatest one. But then a nice another bearish trade coming in here. And, you could use this in any market that you trade with order flow, whether it's E-minis, M&Q, Dow, gold, bonds, currencies, even the commodity markets like, grains and things. You could still use that because, every bar is going to have delta. It's going to have max delta. It's going to have min delta. And what you want to understand is who's really in control of this market, right? If somebody's just clearly dominating the market, clearly in control of the aggressive buying or aggressive selling. And again, it's not just one person. It's the, what do you want to call it? The herd, so to speak. If everybody understands what's going on in the market, what I'm saying is when there's times to follow the cumulative herd, so to speak, right? If everybody's is all of a sudden thinking, I got to get short, and they start getting short, not just the retail traders, but the institutional traders as well, that's the direction you want to be trading in. Just as if, all the big traders all of a sudden say, you know what, I got to start getting long, right? And how can you tell? Well, they're all just leaning in one direction. They're leaning to the aggressive buying side. That's the side you want to be trading on. Okay, so that's the small min max tool and how to use the momentum filter to filter out the signals that you can trade with. All right, everyone. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Okay, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.